Hey, what is up, everybody? This is MathSec once again. Today, we're gonna be rooting Inception from Hack the Box. This is a medium difficulty level machine, and this will be the very first Hack the Box machine I upload to my channel, and I hope you enjoy it. As always, I've started this machine with an nmap scan, so I'm gonna walk you through the parameters I used. And I used, tag pn to tell the nmap that the host is already up and running. That will evade any ping sweep scan or whatever. Tag p tag, this is to scan the whole range of ports that are available, which is from 1 to 65,533. Well, 35 because there are two open, right? Tag SV will tell nmap to perform a service version detection scan, likely this column right here, plus the C appended to it, which will run some default scripts the nmap scripts engine has available for each of those ports found, right? So min rate that will send no less than 500 packets a second, effectively making it super fast. That's because we're through a VPN, and otherwise it would be kind of slower. So yeah, tag and that will be disabling DNS resolution. That will speed it up a bit. Oh, and just to save it in my folder nmap in a file called general. I just use this because I was having some trouble with it. Anyway, I'll explain it to you. SS is a stealth mode scan, which is a TCP SYN scan, right? So instead of completing the full three-way handshake of TCP, I will just end up at the middle of it and tag VVV just to make it triple verbose. That's the maximum option. And here we are with our results. So we have port 80 with Apache HTTPD 2.4.18. We have some default scripts such as the server header, the title, and the method supported. And we have a squid proxy version 3.5.12 on port 3128, right? So let us access it right away. We see this. Okay, so this is the actual IP on port 81. So let me 3128, and this is the page we'll read it with, right? So an error, the requested URL could not be retrieved. In regards to the website, I'm gonna be pausing it right away. So I'm gonna use this. I always use this, so I'm gonna be using FFUF because it's my preferred tool, because it has interactive mode, and in my experience it doesn't lose any request in the middle of, well, your operation, your fuzzing operation, unless you specify an extra extension like PHP, HTML, or whatever. Actually, I don't know if FFUF uses E for extensions or X or something like that. Gotta check that out. But I don't use it anyway, right? So we have colored output, tag C, tag Q for the IP. I defined by IP, my target IP in the variable T, so I can call it with $T, and this is the keyword I want to, I want FFUF to fuzz at, right? So subdirectories. And actually, it's better if we specify a / at the end of it, because I will catch redirections and avoid us losing any request, successful request, or existing resource. Then we're with word list. I'm going to be using directory list 2.3 medium from seclist and 200 threads, right? So in the meantime, it's discovering some resources. Let's check out the a web page in here. So it says Inception, just as the Leonardo DiCaprio movie, I think. So it says dreams feel real while you're in them, right? It's only when you wake up when you realize they were actually strange. And we have a sign up. So let me check the inspect element on the network tab, because that way, without opening app or Writeup tool, we'll be able to check some requests, unless it doesn't work out, obviously. So as.com, just testing, right? And no request. So that means this is only front-end, a front-end thing, you know. It's not actual. There's no backend in this. There's no such request being sent over. So we're inspecting this, and look at this. I mean, I see a lot of blank space in here. So let me scroll down a bit, because this is definitely worth checking. And I see a comment right down here, okay? And it says to do test dump PDF on PHP 7.8. If we go back to our parsing task, we see we have an assets, icons, images, service status. We don't see anything else so far. But my intuition says I could try looking something like dump PDF, right? And in the meantime, I can search exploit dump PDF just to see if there are any known vulnerabilities. It says 0.6.0, and here, well, we have some files. We could use the dump PDF.php. Looks like the main file, and we have a version. Let me check that out. .6.0. So we're in luck today, and we have a working exploit or vulnerability for this version. So let me copy this and say search exploit X as an examine, right? And okay, so we have an LFI vulnerability, and we have this code you might see, and let me use this like etc as LED. Let me cancel my faucet. Cool. And look at that, we have a PDF indeed with some base64. So let me go ahead and like parse it, just that I can see the content itself, right? So, well, I'd see here that, well, I see this, right? So I like to, for example, rep for this 2 characters. So let me rep. Well, that's actually not rep, I think. Forgot. Let me use a silent mode in curl. Unmatched. Let me use this. Like this. Yes, just like that. So sometimes you need to escape this square bracket for that to work. Let me see, what can we do here? We can, for example, tr some spaces, tr tag D, so that it catches as a white space, right? And we can delete it, tag D. It's fine. Let me see. And well, from here, well, actually, we don't need this. I think we can just AWK. I'm gonna be using this. So I want to, well, this sequence, right? I'm gonna be separating it just for you to notice, and a comma, and the closing sequence. I think that should work, but obviously we need to escape these square brackets, and then we can just yeah, that didn't work. Let me see. Everybody, I'm back. So I just did it the easy way, and I decided to print the 8th character over here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This whole 8, 9, 10, right? So if we just pick the 8th character with AWK, curly brackets, print, $8, curly brackets, that will do it, right? And I can from here just delete these. Let me see if I can do this. Yep. And TRD, TRD, just like this. And there we go. We have the whole base64, right? So we just base64 tag D, and there you go. We have the ATC pass LED. So we have a username Cobb. Let me just nano users Cobb just in case we need it. And from here we can start enumerating a lot of things. I'm not gonna lose time like telling what files can you or can you not query from here. Pretty much all the files you might think dolly tag data, which is the usual user you get access to, right? So I'm gonna be using, for example, in order to move forward with the showcase, I'm gonna be looking for Apache config site location, right? Obviously you would do this after looking for some LFI and log poisoning vulnerabilities vectors, attack vectors. So yeah, for example here, let me just etc Apache 2, what else was it? HTTPD, there's nothing. Apache 2, that's not a file thing, but yeah, I mean, that's not a file. I mean, in my experience, I know there is a file under sites site enable, something like that, or available. Yep, there you go. Here, maybe sites available. So that is a folder from Apache where you can define some virtual hosting settings. So let me just go ahead with this, and this is a folder, but we actually have a file called 000 dash default.conf, and if we check this, we're going to see an interesting file. So let me just use content in here in 000 default.conf. Let me go to contents and cat this out. From here, I want to remove these kind of spaces. Look at this. So I can grep -b. Can I? Apparently not. Okay, let me just 0 and grab grep for rejects. Let me use this hat sign and this maybe. Yeah, okay. So let me just tr -d. That should work, right? It's not. What is not working? Well, anyway. So what I was trying to do is, and I just want to move forward, right? But is to like eliminate these spaces so that all the text is aligned all the way to the left. Then you can match this expression to cut it out of the actual file so that you can filter and take out all these comments. But anyway, it doesn't matter, it is not necessary. And here you can see we have a like another website, right? We have dev on auth type basic web dev test credential, and we have an auth user file here in var www.html web dev test inception web dev.passwd. So that means we have available like this subdirectory, right? We wouldn't be able to find this with any word list, so that's cool. And it is asking for basic authentication, right? So we have a now web.passwd here in an absolute path, so we can definitely start searching for it in our LFI vulnerability like this. Now look at that, we have a pair of credentials. Now let me do this and send it over to hash. With John the Reaper, I'm gonna be using this hash and a word list user share word list req, right? And super fast we had a match. So web dev tester will be using baby girl 69, right? Now in here we could start fuzzing, obviously fuzzing these there you go, fuzzing this directory. Also we can start enumerating it. We have a dev test, that's a pretty neat tool we can use to enumerate dev test based dev test sorry web dev based web applications, right? And we can just start playing with this. Another one is cadaver. This one is another one important. We have so we have URL, HTTP, our target, and web dev test Inception. I'm gonna be using auth, which is web dev tester, and baby girl, I think it's like that, yeah, 69. So let me try that, and you'll see it will start executing some automatic tasks, such as trying to create files, to remove files, to update files, to change files, basically. And we indeed can, right? You can see that the web dev was it? The web dev web application allows, for example, to run PHP code, well, TXT files, HTML files, but none other than that. And we can go ahead and upload a PHP shell, right? Let me go ahead with that. I'm gonna be using shell.php. I'm gonna be opening PHP. I'm gonna be echo. I'm gonna be using system. This is the basic syntax from PHP, and from here I'm gonna be using get and cmd, just like that. That way we will be getting input from a cmd get variable and passing it over to a system function that will effectively execute system commands. System commands. Now we will be echoing it out. Now let us go with that. With dev test, we do have some options. So upload file, from here it will upload this file. Which one? Shell, right? And upload log. I'm gonna be using shell.php, because we're already specifying the web test inception, so we don't need to specify anything else. That will do the work. Upload succeeded. When I do this, I can check if it actually exists, and if that and it does. It's just that it isn't showing, right? Because it's not executing the PHP code. But if we pass it a command such as cmdid, we will see we have remote command execution, right? So we can go ahead with this. Oh, sorry. So let me Control U to inspect code, because I want to do something like this. Let's stack LA, and just like that. So at this point, I would like to try sending as a reverse shell. So bin bash stack C bash interactive mode, just like this. Def GCP 190 no 10.10.14.2, and let's send it over to 443, and let's set up some redirection parameters, just like that. And here I'm going to be using ncmvlp 443, and we're going to be sending it. Now it's not working because you need to encode the ampersand sign, right? So that is 26. Just like that, and send it over. Oh well, I don't see nothing. I don't see anything, but I do see it is thinking, right? So that is quite interesting. From this situation, you can take out a lot of conclusions, like there is a firewall in place. It might not have connectivity, maybe for some IP tables, maybe the port is banned, whatever. A lot of reasons, right? And we can try let's roll this out, right? We can use TCP dump non-disable DNS resolution, specifying an interface, which is going to be tone 0. And I'm going to be using the ICMP. I need to do it with sudo with root permissions, right? Now we're listening. What about if we try to ping C1 and that 10.14.2? And we don't see anything either. So that might be about right. Okay, there must be a firewall in place. Look at that. So it's 100% packet loss, even though obviously our machine is open. So yeah, there might be some firewall or something like that. So we don't have any other option that enumerate manually. Of course, you can create a forward shell here. 0xdf has taught us about it. Like he showed a method to do it. If you're a Spanish speaker, Savitar also did it. Sorry. But in this case, I don't see it necessary. It's just a quick enumeration we need to be able to move along, right? So ID. What else do we have in here? LSLA. Let me see. LSLA home. Maybe we have some SSH keys in here. We don't. That's okay. And I don't know. Let me see. We don't see any Docker file or anything. Let's try IPA. And we look at this. We have a 127 and a 192.168. And we know for a fact that that is not our victim IP, because we're in a subnet from 10.10 something /17, I think it is. You can check it from here, right? Let me here, APA 10.10.14.2/23. All right, thought it was 17. So this is not our machine, but anyways, we have another options to look for. So we can squid proxy in Hactrix, for example, right? And we can pen test in squid. Yeah, look at that, web proxy, curl proxy. Let me check that out. This is in order to test if the proxy does not have any credential and authentication methods set up. Let me use this in here, .t, and a variable t here as well. And we see your cache administrator is okay, not allowed. However, since this is a proxy, why don't we try to check for 127.0.0.0.1, which is localhost. Now look at that. We do have response. This is the very same response we had. So the authentication method is not set up. We can confirm that. But we can go ahead and ATC, nano ATC proxy chains. I already did it. So you'll see what's up here, because we can set up a squid proxy with HTTP, our IP, and the port. And that will do the work for us. So we can state proxy chains and start with nmap. I'm gonna be using pn, and let me use, for example, ports 500. Disable DNS resolution. What else? ST. It's not necessary to specify it, but just for you to know, proxy chains only runs with ST. That is the full TCP handshake. And we can start fuzzing for our local host, right? Now we can, and should indeed, remove that output. So we can just specify tag Q just to, well, in tag V to mark it verbose, tag Q just to make it silent. Now look at that. So we're seeing that we have a port 22 as in SSH and port 80, right? That is quite interesting because the 22 port for SSH didn't show up in your nmap scan. So that might mean that this port is only available internally, right? So we'll wait a bit. Well, in the meantime, let us try using this. Okay, so we have let me try, for example, well, sorry, proxy chains USSH cup and 127.0.0.0 localhost, and look at that, we do have access. Cop's password, I don't know, let me reuse, like baby girl 69. No, he's not. Okay, and look at that, 3128. Well, let us keep enumerating from here. What was it? Here. Let me check, for example, www HTML. Maybe there's some config file in there. Actually, it's here. Let me just Control U to bring it here. Now, well, look at this. We have a license, a README assets dump PDF, latest.tar.gz, web test Inception, which we already discovered. Look at this. We have another folder in here, which is WordPress _ 4.8.3. What about this? What is this? Your PHP installation appears to be missing the MySQL extension, which is required by WordPress. Again, we can start like pausing here just to discover some files, but we don't need that, right? Because we already have remote communication, so we can just look at it. So in case you don't know this, from WordPress, there are several files you want to look at too. So we can check the wp settings.php, but most preferable wp config.php. that is the go-to whenever you find a vulnerable WordPress like this. Now we can cut the file out, and well, we here can see a set of credentials, which is for root in MySQL, and sorry for that, it's not Control-Shift-C, just Control-C. The password. Why don't we try this, huh? Let me try that again. There you go, look at that. Now, first thing you do as a pen tester, sudo tag L, password, all. I can run every command in the system. So sudo su, that will make me effectively root. So let us go to, well, let us cat user.txt, just like that, and let us go to root. We should have rooted the whole machine. Wait, no, we don't. You're waiting for a train that will take you far away. Wake up to find root.txt. That is interesting, right? But let us start enumerating a little bit. For example, cron tab, SSS TLWM. Let me check this. We have effectively 2280 and 3128 port open, but we need to pivot, I think. So why don't we start like enumerating this. There's a fair way to do it, fairly easy, which is like with a ping sweep scan, without importing any static binary such as nmap, or any tool such as gcell to do a port forwarding, or even doing port forwarding via SSH. We're gonna do it natively. That is preferable, right? Leave off the LAN. So we can do something like this. For I in 1 to 54, that's the amount of hosts available in a subnet, do something, right? What are you gonna do? So in between parentheses, I'm gonna be telling it, okay, kiddo, ping, just sending one ping to any of these, to all of these, to this IP address, and in every iteration, you're gonna be sending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Just like that. And I'm gonna be grabbing out rep bytes from, because that's the answer that a app and running host will give when being pinged, right? So let us do this. Now look at that. So we have 64 bytes from 0.1 and 0.10, but we are 0.10, so that is effectively pinging our loopback address. We're pinging ourselves, but this one we're not. So what about if we try to do this? We have nmap. Yes, we do. Let me NC L, I think it was. I don't remember, but it's fine. Just like that. Let me check 1 to, I don't know, 1000. Was it like that? No. Was it like this? I don't remember. How was it? Yeah, I don't. There must be a certain option in there. We can do it the old school way though. Let me use 4i in 1 to 65 535 ports. Do something, right? And in order to ping, to check whether a port is open or not, we're gonna be echoing a empty string. And anyway, we can just echo. That will do the same to def TCP 192.168.0.1, and here is gonna be the port Okay, so here yeah, I don't remember how that was done. Oh, fail. That's a fail. That's a fail. I'm hitting Control C and Control Z. So let me grab B. Refuse. That should work. Not. The hell? Oh no, B refused. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. To echo, grab B refused. Once again, let me just go back to my notes in Notion and I'll get back to you with the actual answer. Alright guys, so I'm back here. Here are the two ways we can do this. So in order to perform a ping scan with a native bash loop, you can just do this, like echo to def TCP 192.168.0.1, and the variable I that will do the same. These are two valid forms of invocating a variable, and then we need to send everything to def null, right? But we're gonna be redirecting standard error to standard output, right? That will be effectively, I mean, you have standard error, so any error will be redirected to the standard output. So everything will be treated as output, and all the output will be sent out to def null. That is, the whole command will do nothing. I mean, it will, but it won't output anything. But this double ampersand checks, okay, if the status exit code of this command is successful, that is, if this is true, then you will going to do something, right? So echo something is open. Okay, cool. So let us do it that way. I mean, not that way, but the netcat way. This is the other way. So we have tag Z or port scan in verbose. I'm going to be specifying the URL, which is 192.168 0.1, and for port 1 to 6500, I mean 65,535, standard error being outputted to standard output, sorry, and that is wrapping or refused, just what we just did. And look at that. So netcat will telling us, hey, in there we have port 21, port 22 as in SSH, and port 53 as in DNS, right? I think it is. Yeah, not really sure now. Why don't we try to FTP in there? Let me define a variable t again for 192.168.0.1. Let me FTP myself in there. So let me try anonymous password. Login successful. That's cool. So we have this. I don't know if this is the same system or is that the other one. So let me check. ls home, ls cobe. Let me, I don't know. Let me check temp. Okay, I see several files. Let me exit out. Let me check them, and here those files are not present. So indeed we have another, well, a different file, right? So let's start enumerating. This would be a rather pain in the ass task, right? Because we need to do several manual checks like this, downloaded every single file you want to check before you can even take a look at it. So just in order to speed it up the matters, we are going to check the cron tabs. That anyway it's one of the very first tasks every pen tester do. So let me go to etc cron tab, was it? Okay, no, etc. Just etc, right? And get cron tab. Okay, now let me exit out and cat cron tab. And look at this. So we have an apt update and then an apt upgrade. Now this is a rather difficult task to figure out, but I happen to know because I had done some machines that there's a privilege escalation technique associated with apt. Okay, actually GTFO bins will come in handy, I think. Let me check apt actually, and that will be executed as root, obviously. So we can add execute commands in there, but we can do several things. Okay, yeah, let me just look for this article, hackingarticles.in, super useful blog. This has a nice explanation of the attack vector, but I'm gonna just come down to the end of it because here it shows something, which is, let me check, I think it is in here, exploiting cron job. So look at what we're gonna do here. So there are some, I mean, there is a, let me show you with the image. In /etc/apt/apt.conf.d, which is a folder, there are several files that will get executed when apt is called, right? Obviously this folder is only accessible to root, so if we want to do it, we will need to have root permissions, as we do, right? So this attack consists of putting there a like a file, right? In this case it's pawn, with a pre-invoke script. Pre-invoke effectively will execute some script code, some scripts before, that's why the prefix, before the apt is run, right? So we want to do that. Let me show you. See, okay, I failed that. Okay, first of all, when you copy this, you're gonna be getting several ASCII characters like this one. Look at the differences. It's not the same apostrophes. Let me just change those. And here, look at this, because we're gonna be sending, we're not gonna be using our Kali IP, but rather this container IP. Minus 444 to TAM, that's right. And here another, yes, pawn. Look at pawn, right? And now all we need is to set it there to get that file in there, right? So let me SSH myself in once again. Not FTP myself in, sorry, not SSH. Let me go to apt sorry, etc apt.conf.d ls. Look at this, all these files will be executed, right? So I'm gonna be putting on, okay, I can, okay, permission denied, so that's bad. In this, at this point, you would need to enumerate the system folder, and if we did if we scan this over UDP with DocU, we would get well, some interesting findings in here, but let me just wait a bit until this scan is over. I mean, I'm not gonna be letting it finish because it would take a lot of time. Let's just wait until the result we want, or I want to show you, pops up. Alright guys, thanks for waiting. So here are some results. We have 53 for DNS, 67 for boot PS, I don't know what that is, but we have a 69 port, which is TFTP, right? That is quite interesting. Trivial File Transfer Protocol, which is a simpler version of FTP, which travels over UDP. So we can log in with a TFTP and just like this. Less. I think this doesn't have like, I mean, I don't know where am I. Let me try something. Boot pon temp pon. Let me try that first. Exit. Close. Quit. Quit. Well, let me now FTP back in. Anonymous est ls temp, and there we go. We have a pond file. So we need to try to get this in our apt config file. Well, let me go tftp again, and let me put pon into etc apt.conf.d on, and that should do it. ncmvlp 4444, and let us just wait. I mean, if that works, when the cron job gets executed, it will trigger our pre-invoke script, effectively delivering us a shell to this listener, this IP, right? So I just wait a bit. I'm gonna be pausing the video. Anyway, I just don't want to make it longer, right? So I'll be here in a minute. Alright guys, so I'm back again because we had a connection back. So we're root. So let me go to root again. Let's cat root. Sorry. Root.txt, and there you go. This is the actual flag. This is the real flag. So we've effectively pawned. Wait, what happened there? Well, I wanted to write something, but anyway, we've effectively pawned Inception. So I hope you guys liked this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And I'll be seeing you around. Thank you very much for joining.